So, we've got game 2 of the Throne of Skulls. This is a very belated battle report now. Unfortunately, life is getting in the way, so my reporting is um, getting delayed in getting these reports out. So, game 2, after a strong win in round 1, I got drawn against another Warriors player, which I was kind of nervous about. Um, Warriors and Warriors is bad for both sides, and I was anxious to see what his list was like. Um, so my level 1 metal guy went for Searing Doom because I'm against Warriors. Why not? And then the Demon Prince got the Fate of Boona, Soul Blight, Doom Darkness, and Purple Sun. Um, Purple Sun isn't very great, but you'll see why I kept Purple Sun in just a second. And the mission we played this round was Dawn Attack. So Dawn Attack. This is how my opponent got deployed. This is his right hand side. So he's got a Chimera, 2 units of dogs, a Hell Cannon. Looks like a unit of 18 warriors, or I think they were the same as mine, Nurgle with halberds, with a BSB in there. He has a Demon Prince, Mark of Slaanesh. I can't exactly remember what he had. I know he had a 2+ armor save, or a 1+ armor save. He wasn't as unkillable as mine, but he was less points as a result. A Gobi's Chariot there, unmarked. In the centre, he put down another unit of dogs. On his left-hand side, he got another Hell Cannon. So this is why I kept Purple Sun, because he's running double Hell Cannon. And unfortunately, he got one in each corner. It'd have been good if you put them both in the same section or close, because then I can try and Purple Sun them off both in one go. But I'm only going to get likely one with the Purple Sun if I can get the Demon Prince in place. So when I rolled, this is how I counter. This is my right hand side. So I got the Skull Crushers, unit of dogs, and the Nurgle Gold Beast over here on the right. In the centre, I got the Nurgle Warriors with halberds, the BSB, a unit of 5 hounds, another Nurgle Gold Beast, and over on my left, I got the Demon Prince and another unit of hounds. So I'm just going to quickly start off by saying I apologise for the pictures in this report. I didn't realise at the time, but my camera had gone onto zoom function, so all the pictures look like they're really, really close up when they shouldn't be, so I apologise for that. And also, I felt like my opponent was really rushing me in this game. You probably understand why at the end of the game, but I just felt like he wasn't really enjoying it, and he was rushing me along, and I play quick, but I don't like to feel rushed, so that was left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, in that regard. So I apologise in advance for some of the pictures in this report. So first turn, my opponent wins the roll to go first. After I vanguarded my hounds up, he charges one of them and I flee. And in turn 2 charges the hounds again, and I elect to hold these hounds. I can't remember why exactly. I think at the time I was thinking I just pull those dogs out of position. I can just counter charge them, and it gets me up the field quicker by through counter charging those dogs, because chariots can't march. So if you charge with a chariot, you get more movement out of it. And the rest of his movement looks like this. So his block of warriors just inch up a little bit. Chimera and the Demon Prince fly up a little bit. He's keeping out of my maximum charge range of my Demon Prince, so he's 22.1 inches away. But he's still within range to do most of his hexes and omens, which I was quite worried about, because if you can drop the random movement on my Demon Prince, it kind of neuters his fly ability. So watch out for the Slaanesh magic. Dogs move up. I think the Gobi's Chariot in the centre actually moves back a little bit. So in the magic phase, again, this is what I'm talking about, how my camera just randomly zoomed in. In the magic phase, he goes ahead and he casts Acquiescence. I dispel it, and then he gets Hysterical Frenzy off on my Demon Prince. So he's relying on me failing a Leadership 9 Frenzy check, because the Chimera is just inside my maximum charge range. I need to double 6 it. But I'm on Leadership 9, but I don't have a reroll because the BSB isn't in range. In the shooting phase, Goes ahead and fires one Hell Cannon at the Demon Prince, misses. Fires the other Hell Cannon at the Demon Prince, hits me, and then rolls a 1 to wound. So man, I was breathing a massive sigh of relief. Those double Hell Cannons are really, really scary. So I managed to dodge it for one turn. In the combat phase here, so we trade off 2 dogs each. He wins by the charge, and I stick because the BSB's there. So, going into my turn, the Demon Prince does indeed fail his Leadership 9 test. Has to charge the Chimera and fails. So, already, he's really slowing my Demon Prince down and putting me on the back foot in terms of, mobility and maneuverability. In the centre here, so we're talking about, so I counter charge with the Golby's Chariot into those dogs. It's got me, like 14 or 15 inches as opposed to 6 inches of movement. So I'm really happy with that. BSB moves up. The Sorcerer, I moved him up out of the unit to get some Searing Dooms on the go. I'm feeling no one can see him to charge him where he stood, and the Hell Cannons aren't going to waste their shots going after the Sorcerer. So he's quite safe at the moment. And if anyone gets close, I'll just hop him into the building. But I'm in Searing Doom range of the Golby's Chariot, which I'm going to try and put some wounds on. And over on this side, so after Vanguard, the dogs have moved up there in the centre. I do think I've got another unit of dogs just off picture to the left, if I remember rightly. That's at an angle blocking his Golby's Chariot. Like I say, I was really rushed in this game, so I've not got as extensive pictures as I normally might have. And the Skull Crushers move up as far as they can, but staying out of range of any potential sort of rage from the Hell Cannon, which I really don't think I should have been afraid of, but at the time I was. I should have just marched them up full distance, ready to charge next turn. And of course, in the combat phase in the centre, I completely obliterate the dogs. In the magic phase, I try and send a purple sun through the Chimera, but it falls like an inch short to touch the Chimera, which is really, really disappointing. So, going into my opponent's turn 2, he goes ahead and he flies up his Demon Prince over the building. You could just about make it to the side. Chimera flies up there, so he's seen, he's looking right down the flank of my stuff in the centre. He's watching me come around the building, with my Nurgle block, and he may indeed actually go for the level 1, which I was surprised about. So this is just another shot to show what's going on. This may be the magic phase. I'm not too sure. I think he goes for try and bubble out Cacophonic Choir to give everyone random movement, but he fails. But he does get Acquiescence off on the Demon Prince. So now I'm random movement, and he's shut me down for another turn. In the shooting phase, one of the Hell Cannons misses again, and then the other Hell Cannon hits me again, and he rolls a 1 again to wound. So man, I'm riding the luck train all the way to a good result at this point. If he keeps missing with those Hell Cannons, I'll be happy. On the other hand, my opponent was really pissed off about rolling 2 1s, but I tried to point out in a friendly way that, hey, you've not misfired yet when you probably should have done. So that was his, how his Hell Cannons are doing, and it's why I kind of don't rate them, because that's 420 points. It's done nothing so far in the game. Should have done something, but they haven't. So in my turn, I go ahead and I turn the Warriors and the BSB to face the Demon Prince. I wasn't too worried about his Demon Prince. It was tough. It's a Demon Prince, but it's not a Nurgle Prince with 1-up and all the tricks. It's a Slaanesh Prince. I'm not -1 to hit. I'll have a magic phase. If he wants to charge in, I should be able to either significantly damage him or possibly even kill him. So rest of the movement, the Golby's just moves up. I'm going tentatively with the 1 up front because he has a Golby's, and I want to get the charge. But I think if he does get the charge, he's unlikely to kill me. We'll exchange some damage, I should hold with BSB nearby, and I can counter charge with my other Gore Beast. So that's that. So that that's that setup there. The level 1 decides he's gonna drink from his Chalice of Chaos, rolls a 6, passes his test, and turns into Demon Prince again. Awesome. So the Skull Crushers on this side go ahead and declare charge with the Hell Cannon. Unfortunately, they fail, and this is why I should have just marched up as far as I can. In my turn, because I would have made this charge and then killed that Hell Cannon. Well, the Hell Cannon. And of course, being random movement, the Demon Prince just shuffles up like 3 inches. Really disappointed with him so far, but Slaanesh magic is a good counter for him. It shuts him down quite well. Into my magic phase, so I go ahead and get Soul Blight off onto the Demon Prince. I can't remember if he lets it go or tries to dispel something else or whatever. So he's -1 strength and toughness, which will help if he decides to take that charge. And I get Doom and Darkness off onto this Nurgle block, which is really, really good because I have 2 Demon Princes looking at this unit. So either in his next turn, he wastes some of his dice to dispel this, or he's gonna potentially get Terror Charge twice off the board at Leadership 6 with a reroll. Granted, the BSB is in there, but it's it's Leadership 6 twice. So that's that plan laid into motion. We'll see how that goes. Into my opponent's turn, so you can see there the level 1 has turned into he's turned into a Demon Prince and moved up. He goes ahead and declares a charge of the Chimera into the flank of the Gore Beast Chariot. I elect to hold, thinking that if I can weather this storm, I've got a BSB that can see just about clip the corner of his base, so he can charge, and I've got another Gore Beast Chariot that can counter charge. So I'm kind of playing the dice. He's got anywhere between 7 and 9 attacks, hitting on 5s, wounded on 4s. He's got charge and a flank. It's gonna be tough, but if I can hold, I can kill the Chimera. Even just with combat res, I don't even have to kill it. I'll break it on Hebron Snake Eyes. So in the combat phase, it looks like I take 2 wounds. So he's got charge, flank, 2 wounds. I'm at -4, and I stick. And then again, testing on a 4, I passed the test to reform to face, which was absolutely fantastic. I'm not. So again, this is what I was talking about being rushed. My opponent's going really, really quick. This looks like it's into my turn. In his shooting phase, both Hell Cannons hit the Demon Prince. Both cannons wound the Demon Prince, and then I ward save twice. My opponent was like, he was punching the air at this point. He was frustrated to hell, and I was trying, my best to be courteous and grateful for riding the luck train. But obviously, when it happens, your opponent doesn't really want to know. In his magic phase, this is the turn that he tries to bubble out Cacophonic Choir. He jumps his Demon Prince up and over the building in front of my Demon Prince. Bubbles out Cacophonic Choir, and he fails to meet the casting value, so I think that's why I didn't get a picture of it. Into my turn 1, I go ahead and declare the charge with the Demon Princes into the Nurgle block. They fail the leadership test, terror test, and run off the board. So it's always nice when you have a plan set into motion and it works. Now, because they fly off the board, these dogs flee to there. Now, through whatever circumstance, I have a unit of dogs that has fled to here. Bump through the other unit of dogs who passed the leadership test. I can't remember what makes these dogs flee. But yeah, they've fled to there. So, because the heroics of the Gore Beast passing the leadership 4 test, I get to counter charge with the BSB and another Gore Beast into the flank of this Chimera. So if I don't kill it through wounds, I have a charge, a flank, a BSB. so he's at -3. He is within range of the general, so he'll be on leadership 6 before I do any wounds, if he doesn't do anything to me. So I've got a pretty good chance of killing and breaking this Chimera. The Skull Crushers make the charge into the Hell Cannon, but because of those stupid dogs fleeing from something, I can only manage to get 2 into base to base. So this is going to be, quite difficult task to kill the Hell Cannon now, with just 2 at strength 6. If I had all 4 Juggers clipping, 12 strength 6 attacks plus 12 strength 5 attacks, the Hell Cannon would die. But now it's a bit dicey. Now, because he flew his Demon Prince up bottom of the building, I decided just to charge him with my Demon Prince. My Demon Prince is just a box standard Demon Prince, no upgrades. He's just a level 1 Metal Wizard, Mark of Tzeentch. He rerolls his ward saves of 1. He's got a pretty tool up Demon Prince, but it's going to take him a while to get through my wounds, and I'm unbreakable, so I can pin him in place, and I can limit the effect of his Demon Prince like he's been doing to mine so well. Speaking of the Demon Prince, he flies up to here. He's finally going to get a chance to cast Purple Sun through the Hell Cannon. Still frenzied. I think so. I mean, it looks like the Demon Prince in the center declared a charge onto the Nurgle block. They fled off the table for the terror test, and then redirected into his Demon Prince, which meant that my Nurgle Prince was free just to fly up like this. I think that's how this turn went. So I flew up and I've got a nice close shot for Purple Sun on that Hell Cannon. In the magic phase, I go ahead and I get a Soul Blight off onto his Demon Prince, and also get Doom of Darkness off. Now this is important because he let it go. Obviously his Demon Prince being unbreakable, but he wasn't thinking outside the box. I was more affecting his leadership bubble, because that effectively gives -3 to the Chimera as well. Meaning that the Chimera is now going to be on leadership 3 before any wounds, without a reroll. So yeah, not exactly the smartest move from my opponent. In that regard, letting Doom and Darkness go through. He's not really thinking of the wider effects. But there you go. And I got Soul Blight off as well, which will help keep my Demon Prince alive a little bit longer. So in the combat phase, I think the Demon Princes have a bit of a tickle fight and exchange a wound each. Over here, the charge was fairly lackluster, and just do a single wound to the Hell Cannon. And unfortunately, because of those dogs, I can't reform to bring more guys into face. I'm going to have to wait until my next turn, when I can either rally them and reform them out of the way, or they flee again and bounce through my unit. So yeah, we just do a single wound to the Hell Cannon. We take none in return. Hell Cannon's obviously unbreakable. And in the centre, you probably saw it in the previous picture, go ahead and kill the Chimera. We don't kill the Chimera, it breaks and the BSB runs it down, which was awesome. And now I've got the 2 Gore Beasts and the BSB ready to deal with his Gore Beast and possibly that of the Hell Cannon. Into my opponent's turn, he goes ahead and he charges his Gore Beast into my Gore Beast that has 3 wounds on it. And he goes ahead and he charges the Demon Prince with the Hell Cannon. I guess he's kind of thinking, why the hell not? He's going to get charged anyway. Unfortunately, I couldn't get Purple Sun off last turn. It got dispelled. But the Demon Prince should, be able to slap this Hell Cannon around. And if he doesn't, I can Purple Sun it again. Try and just suck it into his pocket. So in the combat phase, I take no damage from the Hell Cannon. I do 1 wound back, but we're both unbreakable, so we're just going to stand there staring at each other. In this combat, I do another wound to the Hell Cannon. I take a wound in return. I win by banner, but he's unbreakable. And this combat here, so I take no wounds from the Demon Prince, and I think I do a wound to him. So now we've got a wound each. Into my turn. The dogs carry on fleeing, which was awesome for me, because now after this combat phase I can reform the Skull Crushers to get more attacks in. I don't care about the dogs. I'd rather than just run away and either block something or just get out of the way. So I go ahead and I declare a counter charge with the BSB into the dogs, hoping that they would flee, but they didn't. They held. And then I moved up my my Gorebeast Chariot into position where I can counter charge his Gorebeast next turn, providing we both hold, which we will do. My Gorebeast's only taken 2 wounds, and his Gorebeast has taken 1 wound. So it looks like he did no wounds to me on the charge last turn, and I did a wound back. So it was a tied combat. Again, sorry for the lack of pictures, but I've explained why that is. In the magic phase, I go ahead and I get Soul Blight off onto the Demon Prince again. And the Demon Prince manages to open up his pocket, his Purple Sun pocket, and sucks the Hell Cannon into his pocket. Yeah. Being able to cast Vortexes in combat is pretty broken. So, after combat, the 2 Gorebeast Chariots exchange wounds again. The BSB completely wipes out the Unit 5 dogs and then reforms like so. This comes out later to be a bit of a mistake, but I'll cover that when we get to it. And after combat, I've put another wound on the Hell Cannon, take none in return, and then I reform to get all my attacks in next turn. Hell Cannons are really good. This is a unit of Skull Crushers, and it just cannot kill artillery. But hey, what are you going to do? It's my opponent's turn. He pretty much has nothing to do. Everything's in combat, so there's no charges. Dogs are just moving out of the way. He tries to bubble out Cacophonic Choir and fails. Then it's my turn, so I go ahead and I get the counter charge. Oh, so in his phase, the Skull Crusher kill the Hell Cannon, reform. So that's why they're there. I've not cheated or anything. In my turn, they move in, take the Engine Train, take no wounds. I get the counter charge with the Gorebeast into the flank of his Gorebeast. When we got the measure out, I was in fact in his flank. Go ahead and turn the Demon Prince around. There's nothing he can charge that was in his arc, so I'd have to take a Frenzy test. Now the mistake I made was I charged the BSB into the flank of the Demon Prince, completely forgetting that I would have to issue a challenge. Meaning that my Demon Prince can't fight. Luckily my BSB is one survivable son of a gun, but this could have gone badly. In the magic phase, again I cast Soul Blight. He still has Doom and Darkness on him, but it doesn't really matter, he's unbreakable. Basically, in his turn, he's using all these dice to try and bubble out Cacophonic Choir, and he's not been getting it. So, after combat, I think the Demon Prince is now down to 3 wounds. I take no wounds on my BSB because he's a tank, and everyone sticks in place. Dogs, into my opponent's turn, the dogs flee, way over here just to save their point. And the Demon Prince, the Slaanesh Demon Prince, goes ahead, bubbles out Cacophonic Choir. I tried to dispel them, fail, and it kills the Demon Prince. The Cacophonic Choir does, I think it's 2d6 hits that wound on a 4-up with no armor save. And the only thing that died was my Demon Prince. Ah, man, what a game. So in my turn, it looks like this. Everything just moves up. My Gorebeasts kill his Gorebeast. The Nurgle Warriors moved up. I've lost 6 of them. I don't recall how I lost 6 of them. Maybe a miscast or some. And it definitely wasn't a Hell Cannon. The Hell Cannon spent every shot firing at the Demon Prince. So I'm not sure where I lost those 6 Nugget Warriors, but I lost 6 Nugget Warriors. I just move everything up like this, just to face. But then we call it. I can't remember if this was in fact turn 6, or we just decided to call it there. But yeah, that's the game. So, man, after that game, that was Lucky. Lucky. The Demon Prince got hit with a Hell Cannon 4 times. 4 times in that game, and he didn't die. My opponent rolled 2 1s, and then I passed 2 ward saves. So really, really lucky on my part. I could have said the same to my opponent, that, you know, he fired his Hell Cannon like 6, 7 times, didn't misfire, and hit sort of 60% of the time. So the luck was kind of on his side as well, just a hell of a lot more so on my side. This is definitely a game that could have and perhaps should have gone the other way. It was definitely in the balance. If I had managed to go first and flew my Demon Prince up right in his face, it wouldn't really matter if he gave me, random movement. All I would have done is I would have parked myself as close to his knuckle block as I possibly could, so he couldn't march around me, he couldn't go anywhere, he can charge me with whatever he wants. The Demon Prince would kill it all, and I would have just death magicked his BSB. But that's not how the game went. He went first, he shut down my Demon Prince really well for 2 or 3 turns. But then when he shifted his focus from the Demon Prince onto the rest of my army, that's when, my Demon Prince was able to turn the tide back into my favour and, start picking up some points. Unfortunately, I just didn't enjoy this game. My opponent seemed like he was a really, really nice guy. Obviously playing Warriors, we had a good sort of laugh and a joke and a chat about, the Warriors book. But it was out of 69 players, there was like 15 Warriors players. So, everyone was there with Warriors. He was a very pleasant chap. The only thing is after he rolled badly with his Hell Cannons the first 2 turns, I could just tell he wasn't enjoying the game. He didn't want to play anymore. But it's a tournament, you've got to play it out. And he was just rushing. He was just doing everything so quick. He was, just wanted to get the game over with, which I understand. But at the same time, the game, the game of Warhammer is more about yourself. It's the happenings of 2 people, and both people have to be enjoying it, and I just didn't for this game. So I apologise for that. It was probably my worst game of the tournament. This game highlights my issues with the Warriors, though. I've always said that the Warriors is very one-dimensional. Either your opponent has a counter for what you have, and then you lose, or he doesn't, and you win. There's no, there's no tactical, there's no real tactical issue with the Warriors. Is you just put your stuff on the table, and you shove it down your opponent's throat. And if they can deal with it, then you lose. If they can't, then you win. And it just makes a very static, one-dimensional, fairly boring style of play, which I'm not enjoying at all. Taking my Warriors forward, I'm definitely going to change the list, but I'm just looking forward to getting my teeth into other armies now. But there's still more reports to go. If you've liked what you've seen so far, don't forget to subscribe and comment, like the video. It does help. And again, I apologise for some of the pictures in this report, and I am in full apologetic mode for the belatedness of these reports. I'm doing them as often as I can. So thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter @SystemWarGames. You should know that by now. And thank you. So I am out.